Dave.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
All right, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm good. What have I missed?
Oh, a bunch of fun stuff.
I bet.
Uh, yeah,
Always fun. Is that your little office at your apartment?
Yeah. Is that your little, what is that dog behind? Is that a background or is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a background. That's my girl. That's my girlfriend's dog. But I love her. Her name's Lola.
That's sweet. It's not creepy at all.
I know. Well, I'm just amazed that I figured out how to change the background on Zoom. So
I know. It opens a whole new world.
yes, definitely a whole new. What are you drinking? Coffee?
Coffee. I'm sorry, I'm getting another Zoom call in here. Go ahead.
there
Are
you
you
go,
really?
man. It's all good. Thanks for doing this, Dave.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. How have
Good
what have you
one,
been
Bob.
doing? What have
What?
you been doing for the last month, Dave?
Well, I know a lot of people have been crafting. They have been, Zooming. I've been using my time to work on a cure. How about that?
There you go. You're a modern day Jonas Salk.
I'm
Oh.
trying to I figured, out of the box, and I'm so out of the box that I figured, I might just come up with something. I got some.
I had no idea you had a medical background.
I don't. I just go over to CVS and I see what hits me. I let it kind of seep through and just see if I can come up with something.
You get within 6 feet of them.
Yeah, I go out of the house. I have to buy supplies for my mom too. So, it's kind of like like not every day, but whatever. I have to go into a store and stuff like that. I wear the mask and
There
the
you go.
gloves, and I'm trying to be safe. This is New York. We're on a high supermax lockdown here. So
Are you staying with your mom during this?
no, I have my own apartment. I'm an adult, but
No, I mean, are
I
you?
don't go into her house.
I assume
go
you're
into her
keeping an
house.
eye on her.
Yeah, no, we have cameras and everything in there. It's like China.
Well, you're in Manhattan. Where is she? Is she on Long
Out on
Island?
the island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. This is interesting shit. Let me ask you this though, guys. You're young guys, right? Do you feel like you're losing like an important time of your life by not being out there, both in the clubs and also in your own life?
In the dance clubs, definitely. I'm definitely losing out on not being able to go out to the dance clubs.
Do you feel that like you're being cheated somehow?
No, I think
I'm old.
I think it's gonna be all right in the long run. I'm a little worried. Like I got a bunch of weeks on the road in May, and they haven't canceled. They haven't canceled yet. So
Yeah,
do
that's
I look
weird.
like a douche if I like contact them? Be like, this isn't happening, right? We know this.
I think you'd look more like a douche if you showed up.
I would like to see how you get there. I mean, like there's like one flight a day now anywhere, and I guess you could drive it.
Yeah,
But maybe you could do a show on the beach down in Florida. Like they kind of open the beaches, so maybe you could do some kind of quick, pass the hat kind of thing.
well, it's Youngstown and Akron, so I would drive, and I'm from Ohio, as you can see in the
Yes.
back. So yeah, I would see them not canceling till last minute. Like they're it's like that type of those type of clubs. But I don't know if you saw this before you got on. Bob and I, I was talking to Bob about this. I saw like 30 people like unfollowed me on Twitter, and I was just curious. I went on the app like who unfollowed. It was all the funny bones and all the improvs. They got rid of all their accounts.
They did?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah, if you go on there, all their accounts are suspended.
Really?
Yeah, every one of them. Columbus.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
They
That's
probably
what I
laid
told
off the
Bob. I don't know
person
what
in
that
charge
means.
of their social media.
I don't know. I feel like we're so far away from actually live entertainment. Like that'll be the last thing that opens up. That,
I agree.
And I also feel bad for our brothers in arms, the improv actors and the, close-up magic people and jugglers. I don't see any of that happening anytime soon.
Well, they can improv and pretend they're in a
In their
room full
house.
of people.
Yeah.
Give
And
me a
Bob, how about
place.
you and the ships? What do you think? What are they telling you?
They've, as of right now, like Carnival says, there's some of the ships are done until the end of the year.
Mhm.
but some of them are, as of right now, they're actually saying they're going to start back up June 27th. That's what they told us a couple weeks ago. Like
Wow.
they're can't everything's canceled until June 27th. That's when they plan. That's when they
That
plan.
sounds way too soon. That does
Well, I
not.
know that they're just saying dates, and then when it gets close to it, they'll push it back, I'm sure. But they're not canceling everything to the end of the year.
That'll be the bravest cruise ever,
They've said people are buying them up for next year. I mean,
Really? That's good.
yeah. I mean, I mean, the whole industry isn't going to go away, but yeah, it's definitely, and stuff like this helps with creating new, we're do this whole quarantine. I mean, just in regular life, we're all being more careful as far as washing our hands and stuff. I mean, we're not going to wear masks forever, hopefully. But
I'm also washing my feet. No one else is doing that.
There, you got to take precautions, man.
You're a known sandal guy,
I am.
Dave.
I'm a patchouli guy.
Yeah.
How was your
Yeah.
420? You guys are the most opposite of 420. So how was your 420?
Yeah, no shit. No, Ray smokes. I don't.
Yeah, I smoked a little bit. Why, do you smoke weed?
No, I don't.
I heard you quit
Weird.
drinking.
Both of you look like you're cops. That you both.
No, I just shaved my head. I just did this.
You ought to see me with a mustache.
That's the quarantine look.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My roommate gave me a mohawk.
Oh. Well, let me ask you this. So, is it hard getting high alone like this, or is it just more of the same?
I was always getting high alone.
Yes, well, then that's perfect. You trained up on it.
Yeah, but I'm
Ray was
40s.
definitely ready.
Yeah, I'm in my 40s, so now I only smoke before I go to bed. I just smoke before going to bed. I don't smoke like socially anyway. So
That would have been a cool thing if they legalized pot everywhere. That would have been a really you can't leave your house, but pot is legal everywhere, and we're gonna have people deliver it to your house.
it almost is legal everywhere.
Not in New York though.
I wonder if places it is legal are the pot guys, are those essential businesses?
Yes, maybe in Colorado or something, but not here.
Well, yeah, because it's not legal here. But liquor stores are essential businesses.
But just if you want to know what I think of this whole thing, I'll give it to you straight. I always thought I would quit comedy or stop doing comedy. I didn't know that the world would stop doing comedy. That's how I feel like right now. It's kind of like being retired, and I think we all realize being retired sucks.
Forced retirement.
Yeah, you're slowly going broke. You're bored. You're scared. Everything is terrifying. So don't ever retire. I guess that's what I've learned from this thing.
Have you done any? I probably know the answer to this, but has anybody asked you to do any Zoom online stand-up shows or anything?
Yeah, I've done a couple of charity events, but
Oh, really? Were you told jokes and stuff?
I did one with Jeff, from Bumping Mics. We did a little thing on the Comedy Gives Back thing, and that was
okay.
a lot of money. But I like these high-end ones, like the World Comedy thing and stuff like that. How people are, all over the globe, these big names and everything like that, and people just don't have any money to give. So it's kind of a weird dynamic where rich people are asking poor people for money. So hold on to your money, everyone.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that with the GoFundMes. I donated to 3 GoFundMes, 2 comedy clubs, and 1 for a local bar in my neighborhood. And then
Ray's hoping to get stage time.
Yeah. And then after that, I was like, that's enough. I saw 5 more GoFundMes. I'm like, all right, I'm also not making money right now.
That's true. That was cool that you did it, because I did that too. And it's really about the staff too, these clubs, you give to as many as you can. But we're doing another event coming up, I think in 2 weeks or something, where it's for both comics and the staff, and that'll be on Zoom. But the Zoom stuff, I mean, you guys are doing great, but the Zoom thing, it's so different from real comedy. It's awkward. It's there's no audience, so it takes some getting used to. I'd say that's the nicest way to put it.
Oh yeah, I mean, doing a podcast is obviously way different than doing stand-up. I mean, that's just crazy. Did you see
after a good Zoom that you do after a good set? Right.
Did you see? I don't know if they did Saturday Night Live this Saturday, but this past Saturday, but the one.
Do you mind if
before?
I smoke, fellas? Do you mind? Or
no, go ahead, man.
Mind if you smoke?
Yeah.
No,
Bob,
this is
yeah, Bob was doing
this is
heroin
not
on the last Zoom, so yeah,
this is a no smoking Zoom room.
it's heroin only.
No, but I don't know if you saw Saturday Night Live or any part of it when they did it like on Zoom, and Tom Hanks was the host.
Oh yeah.
But they did, so they had like sketches that these the guys filmed in their apartments, obviously. But when they did the Weekend Update, they actually did it where they let people. I guess they selected some people that got to watch it on Zoom, and you could hear them laugh when they would like tell it. Well, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't, because it was distracting and annoying. And what the funny part was, I mean, it was actually a good Weekend Update. But what was funny was actually seeing, just like, I don't know what your screen looks like, but I could see the both of you. And so you would see like Michael Che tell a joke, and then I forget the other guy, but the other guy, yeah, Colin Jost. Like you'd see one of them tell a joke, and then you'd see the other one, not knowing that he was still on camera at all times, just be like,
well, that's the problem. That's exactly the Zoom face.
Yeah, where normally he would be like, he's gonna know when the camera's on him. So it's like, oh yeah, but they would just be like, and it was weird, but it's something that it was neat that they tried. I don't know if they did it again this past weekend, but yeah, so it's a different thing. I hope we don't get used to.
So you watched it, Bob. It had to be like a bunch of coronavirus jokes. I don't see how you can have jokes right now not about coronavirus. Like that's on Twitter. That's all I got is like jokes about what's going on and like.
No, I mean, of course they had some, but they just like the people just did sketches in their room, in their apartments.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it wasn't bad for what they tried to do, honestly.
I could try for help. But what I was going to say is, you know, Michael Che, who we all know is a great comic and also a really good dude, he donated money to pay the rent of like 160 people.
Yeah,
and, you know,
where his grandmother used to live.
That was awesome. That was, a sad passing of his grandma, and like in honor of her, he did that. And I thought that was that's what a celebrity should do. Like that was very cool. He's a cool dude. He's a good man.
Yeah, he's a really good dude. I've always liked him. I saw him fly right past me in the comedy scene. Well deserved too.
Yeah. These things happen.
No, he's an awesome dude. A big fan of his.
Zoom is the new leveler. Zoom will bring it all back.
There you go. Yeah.
But how do you
Zoom and TikTok?
Let me ask you this now. So you also have a podcast besides this?
I mean, this is the podcast. Yeah, this is new. Before we were doing
take the audio
all in the same room, and now we can't for obvious reasons. So we are also new to Zoom. So
I understand.
Yeah.
So will you keep it on Zoom, or will you go back to like this traditional podcast in better times?
I like it better when we're in person. Obviously, for some people that can't do it in person, we'll do it on Zoom. But I just like the energy when we're all in the same room and you can like kind of play off each other.
Yeah, it's way more fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and also the quality of, I mean, even though Howard Stern uses this for his show, the audio is not, not as good as when you've got actual real microphones and into a soundboard, and that's for a podcast. Once all this is done and people can get back to their regular high quality audio, I mean, that makes a difference.
I'll tell you what.
It is what it is right now.
I'll tell you what. One thing that's already happened, we already got some backlash, is you can see my Indians jersey for the last podcast. We only put one online, and the Chief Wahoo was showing, and people gave me shit about Chief Wahoo. So I had to turn it around.
Times.
What's that?
In these times, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People still are get outraged.
Yeah, everything in the world that's horrible, and they go after Chief Wahoo, which. I get it. It is kind of clownish. I get it. It's an insensitive drawing of an Indian, if you will.
Exactly, a caricature. But how far away do you think we're really from baseball now? They're trying to bring it back. They said like they're going to try and start it in June or July or something like that.
Well, they said they're going to divvy it up. So who's ever spring training's in Florida is going to play the teams in Florida, and the teams that are in Arizona are just going to play Arizona. And as an Indians fan, I'm not happy about that because the people we play spring training with are way better than the teams in our shitty division.
So, I want to see it because the game is already slow. But can you imagine they have to like take everyone's temperature before they come to the at-bat?
Yeah. Actually, the latest I heard was they were going to do it all in Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, That's the dumbest thing too, because they've been doing that at some stores. When you go in, they take your temperature. But what happens if there's 10 of us? They take the temperatures. 9 of us are fine, and then one dude is 106. And it's like, yeah, we were just standing next to this dude for the last 25 minutes.
It makes you feel like, yeah. Well, I'll tell you this about the temperature thing.
6 feet.
My mom has memory issues, so her temperature fluctuates all the time. So we're constantly lasering her. I can only imagine what she thinks we're doing to her. But we're constantly lasering her with temperature readings all day long, and like it just varies all the time. Sometimes we get like 100 degrees. Sometimes it's 98. That's where it should be. Sometimes we get like below 90, and we're like, whoa, that's like a Mount Everest climb. Like, what happened? Are you frozen? So this temperature thing, it's not. I don't know. I don't think a lot of us really know how to do it. That's all.
No, and it also, first time I saw it was going into a pharmacy. It looks like a taser. I thought they were tasing the guy in the forehead. It's like, why are you tasing him in his forehead?
Did they took your temperature at the pharmacy, at the grocery store?
Yeah, the Walgreens here, they're doing it.
Really?
They'll start doing that everywhere in New York, because that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do the temperatures, and we're going to do have to have a mask to go in and all.
Yeah, but that's not a test. That's just your temperature. That doesn't mean
I know.
You don't have it. That's like taking their blood pressure and being like, okay, we don't think you have leukemia because your blood pressure was normal.
No, it's the fastest thing to do, right? It's the only thing that you can do fast that can tell if somebody has a temperature, and then you're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But it's not a test.
It's not.
That's all I'm saying. And also, like I said, if one person has a temperature, what about the other 9 people that are standing
right
next?
Hopefully you're 6 feet away from them. That's why you stay 6 feet away. You don't want to catch their temperature. Dave, you're obviously known as one of the every comic loves you. You're one of the best stand-ups out there. I wanted to ask you, you're known for, you're always writing, having new material, and I know I don't exactly know your writing like plan of attack, like how you do it, but I know like whenever you're used to performing every night, doing new material, whether it be new tags, new jokes. Not performing, are you still writing? You still writing stuff? And if you are you testing it out on your cat or what? Or you just have a pile. You just have a pile of stuff. You're like, I can't wait to get on stage. Give me that Zoom.
That's a good question, Bob. I think all of us have like come up with a boatload of like the new Corona world that we live in. But there's 2 things about it. It's like I feel like writing anything now is not going to be relevant to when we do it. And like what I really do miss is, like you said, like going on stage and just bouncing ideas around. And we're probably months away from that happening again. But like, when I talk to other comics on the phone, we all jump out with jokes. But I feel like the real sadness.
Phone? What's that?
But I feel like the real sadness of it is like all the jokes that are no longer relevant to now.
Right.
Like we live in a different world. The world has changed. So all those jokes you wrote, like I'll show you my calendar since you guys want to know what it's like.
All right. Inside Dave Attell.
Okay, the Green Face, March 15th was the last time I went on stage. I was at the Cellar, and look at all those sad red faces. That's the lockdown. So I don't know if you saw it or not, but
yeah.
I'm definitely rusty for sure, and I can tell that all the jokes that I was doing before, I'm like almost like too terrified to think how many of those are not going to be relevant, but you won't know until you go in front of a crowd. But I will know this. People want to laugh. This is a really horrible situation all the way around, both physically, emotionally, and economically. And people definitely want to laugh, and they want to be able to get out and do something. I mean, I keep thinking of all these horrible lockdown situations. I live alone, and that's cool. Like, I'm a loner to begin with. But, like, imagine having a roommate, like, where you guys never saw each other. And, like, they worked and you worked, and now you're, like, locked in the house together 24 hours a day. And you're like, whoa, I didn't know that you were into Japanese anime. And, like all these things that you now discover about people. So I'm kind of lucky that I have my own space, and I feel for these, especially in New York, everybody lives right on top of each other. It's got to be so much more difficult because of that.
Yeah, I've told people I'm glad my roommate, Paul, we're all buddies from Houston. I've known him for like 20 years. So, and we all, we've
a lot
hung
of
out.
time.
Well, yeah, obviously a lot more together time than we had the previous, 15 months or, 12 months or whatever. But, the fact that I know him, believe me, there's a couple places I lived before where if this is the lockdown, oh my God, I mean, I would have been hell.
Do you have like a rules of the apartment, like, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is like whatchamacallit, chores. Everyone does their chores, and then it's
11,
like
11, you think we're getting up at 11 a.m.?
That's true. Yeah, it's tough getting up in the morning.
I mean, we're both comics. We're different people. We get up late. He likes to work out. So like,
Do you watch it?
Bob watches.
He's like,
Bob counts his push-ups.
He's doing pull-ups, and I'm like,
Bob's
I wish I could do a pull-up.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about this, and I hate to be talking or taking over the Zoom here, but
of course not. Go ahead.
New York is so different now. Like at night, like around 8 o'clock, everyone gets off the streets. So I'm a night guy. I like going out late, and a couple of nights I would go out and like just walk around, see what's happening out there. And it's like the movie Death Wish. It's like very tight. It's very frightening. It's very like you're the only person on the streets. Everything is shuttered. And then like you'll just see a guy in a mask like a block away looking at it. Like, what?
Yeah, where 3 months ago, that's a different ending.
Yeah.
I was telling Bob, like, I ride my bike. I'll ride my bike for some exercise, and I ride at social distance. I keep away. But I'll ride through Central Park. I'll ride through Manhattan, like ride through Times Square, and it's nobody. It's
nobody there.
Yeah,
You're right,
it's just like riding. Yeah.
Are any of the stores and stuff open late in your neighborhood, Dave?
No, my neighborhood, nothing's really open, and like you have to walk a couple of blocks for anything. But I will say this: like the extra level of anxiety was when they released a lot of these prisoners because they're having problems in the jail. So they're releasing the prisoners. So I was like, okay, cool. So now it's kind of like Gotham City. There's like people, these like super criminals out on the street.
Wait a minute, they're really releasing prisoners? This is real shit?
Yeah, because there's overcrowding in the jails, and it's just
spreading corona. It's a
positive. So they're releasing the prisoners.
And where are the prisoners going? Do they have homes?
Yeah, some of them going home, but I assume there's a couple of them have already done some stuff and they threw them back in jail. But I thought it would be like if they're going to let the prisoners out, they should let the zoos. They should open the zoos. The animals just run around and eat people and do stuff like that, and that would kind of keep people off the streets.
Well, maybe Dave, maybe you should become like a new Batman.
I should.
They're releasing prisoners. They're also letting the prisoners wear masks over their face.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah, it's such a great time to be a prisoner. Like, I'm great at doing crimes. Now I get to wear a mask. I'm not going to know who it is.
Great time to be a prisoner.
They had to let them out. But, the point of it is you're right, Bob. I would be kind of like a superhero, but I would have hand sanitizer. It's very hard to find.
You'd squirt it on people?
I would squirt it on them and go, now rub it around.
Yeah. They're doing their crimes, and you got a thermometer to their forehead, just making sure they're all right.
I got my thermometer, my anal thermometer on me.
Yeah, what happened to taking temperature in the butt? Remember that when we were little kids?
It's still available.
I think they only do that now at the Vatican.
And then remember the armpit when we were a little kid for a while? It was under the armpit for some reason.
There was a lot of ways to do it.
So you guys didn't get lasered in the rectum at Walgreens?
No.
Oh.
How much does that cost? I'm into it.
Well, the odd thing was I
want to have fun.
I didn't have a temperature, and yet they still asked me to leave.
Really?
Yeah, they're kicking people out now that aren't wearing masks.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, I feel sorry for the people working there. It's terrifying. They must be terrified all day long.
But what if you're at the pharmacy trying to buy a mask? What if that's?
Oh, that's right. You have to go to a deli to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, if I was in some place and they were like, "Hey, you got to have a mask," if I didn't have one, I'd at least like pull. You see videos of people and they're like, "Fuck you! I don't have to." They just get mad. It's like I'd at least pull my shirt up and be like, "Well, can I just do this?" But I wouldn't cause a scene.
My friend Russ and I were both talking about it. You know, Russ Benny, very funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talking about how like everyone's wearing masks and you can't really tell anybody's facial expressions now. So like all you can really tell is just like wide eyes, terrified, or squinting, judgmental. Those are like the only two, like, you know, like what are they thinking?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
this whole thing has taught me I could be into a woman wearing a burqa. I didn't think burqas were sexy before. Now I'm
It's a
into
New
it.
York fan.
well, usually, you know, you walk by somebody on the street, you walk by somebody anywhere. If you look at them and you just give them like a,
Yeah.
and now you do that and you just you can't see that you're going, you know, or even just you do
Right.
something like that, you're wearing a mask and it's like now
But
you
you only
just
have to wear it when there's other people around you. If there's nobody around you, you're allowed to take it down. So it's hard as a smoker to do that because it's like I'm smoking, then somebody comes along, then I have to like put it over and smoke.
you don't have a smoke hole.
Yeah,
No, I
put a
don't.
little
I'm
smoke
trying to
on
figure
it.
out a way with a snorkel where I could just tap it in that way.
That's got it. Yeah, for I never thought of that. I quit smoking before I moved here.
Good idea.
I never thought of yeah, that's got to suck being. But I mean, does it? I mean, you get like double filter action.
Pretty much.
Smoke it through the mask.
Hey Dave, question for you, if it's all right. You quit drinking.
Yes.
Which how long ago was that?
Oh, over a decade ago.
Oh, a decade ago. Oh wow. All
But I
right.
would say if there's anyone out there who's thinking of quitting drinking, now is probably not the time. It's a great time to be a drunk. You just sit at home, you drink, have a couple of somethings, and then like watch some Netflix or porn and just let it happen, as opposed to being out there driving around or something like that. So this probably is a good time for like being a house drunk.
Okay. And when you did quit though, did you do the meetings or no? Just cold turkey?
No, I just did a cold turkey. I was shitting blood. If I.
Oh Jesus! All right, that'll.
You
Yeah.
change the background for that. No,
Is that
I
some
don't
kind
miss
of a mixed
drinking.
drink?
I don't miss drinking or anything like that. Smoking would be another thing. I think that's a bigger addiction. But yeah, it's getting through these days. I know a lot of people who do drink and they're like, you know, they're starting earlier and earlier during the day. Like I have to call them early and earlier before they get drunk. So, you know, it's hard because there's just so much downtime, you know?
Right. Because I've gone through waves. I quit drinking for a few months, and I just got depressed. I got depressed from not drinking, so I had to.
Well,
yeah, and so
you
it's
have the
weird.
right to be depressed right now. It's depressing. So
No, this is like 2 years ago when I tried quitting serious. Yeah, and
okay.
it just didn't take. I felt more miserable not drinking than I did drinking. So
But there's people that do online meetings, so I don't know how that works.
I didn't like the meetings. I went to a couple meetings. I didn't. I just felt out of place. It just wasn't my thing. Maybe for people that it works, great, but I don't know. I just felt weird. I felt.
Sorry.
Well, everything's online now.
Yeah, so
yeah.
do it online.
You ever order food and stuff online, Dave? I mean, you do any of that?
No, I don't know how to do any of that. I'm not really into this, like the Zooming or the texting. I mean, I'm tweeting and all that kind of stuff. This is all beyond me, and I guess I was dumb because now, for the next couple of months for sure, this is anything. It's going to be everything. And
Yeah, I mean, we were the same way. I never used Zoom. I mean, I
have to do it now. So.
FaceTime with people, but you know, now Zoom's the big app that everybody's using, and
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned how to. I can tell you though, have you developed any new skills? I can tell you, Dave, that I've been making some videos and learning how to. I bought a new computer back like in November, and I bought it to like, you know, so I could put stand-up videos on and, you know, edit them and whatnot. And so I finally have been doing that sort of stuff, not with stand-up videos, but like just making other funny videos. So I'm learning how to do stuff on my computer. I actually have a web series, Dave. You probably haven't seen it. Does somebody else run your Twitter?
Yeah, but I tell them everything to write and all that stuff.
Yeah. I have made a web series called Eating Dicks with Bob Biggerstaff.
I've heard of this one.
Yes.
Kind of a confrontational series.
Well, I actually did one that has you and Jeff on it. It's just I'll send you a link to it. It's just a picture, and I pretend to eat your dick out of the picture.
Oh.
I did one with Bert Kreischer that got like 50,000 views on Twitter. The Jeff Ross Dave Attell one has not hit that number yet. It's very far away.
You know, Bert is like he's awesome. So that was a good
yeah.
thing.
And then I did Tom Segura, and he got like 25,000.
Do you put a do you put like an age restriction on it? Because this seems like more of an adult.
Well, there's no nudity. There's no, I mean,
Well, but I
there's
mean,
no,
the title alone, kind of like, you know, you don't want any of these homeschool kids to like blunder onto it, do you?
they're the ones that'll make it viral,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Yeah, they're
But,
just pictures. He has not eaten my dick yet. I do
Yeah,
a podcast with
Well,
him.
you
and he
gotta
hasn't
wait
eaten
your
my-
turn. You gotta
try to
wait.
go with the big names first. Yeah, we got a waiting list. We're backed up. Have you learned any new skills during the quarantine, Dave?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to like,
How to run
Some home
faster down the
repair.
street late at night?
I'm doing some home repairs, and none of them really worked out. And I guess what happened is I fell into a, you know, it's kind of interesting how like, you know, everybody's looking for like some kind of like escape. So I was buying a lot of stuff off of Amazon, and then I realized that's a mistake because most of the stuff I get is not good. And you know,
Like, what were you getting?
well, I'm trying to decorate my apartment, so I was trying to do it like, you know, I'll just buy a bunch of shit and see what.
Yeah, there's some bare walls behind you.
Exactly. So, you know, I figured I'd do that. And I personally don't like anything on the walls. Like I like thinking my apartment is a hotel. But now that I'm an adult, I have to decorate a bit. So I bought some paintings, and I have to buy like ceramic things and like unicorns and things like that. So I've been trying to buy some of those things, but I noticed that everything I kind of get, I don't want. So, you know, that's all.
Well, I know you moved into that place. You moved into that place last year. It's kind of a new
Oh,
place.
about a year or
isn't it?
two. Yeah. And
I mean, this
it's
has to have been the longest you've stayed in there consecutively.
absolutely. I think this is the longest I've not been on the road since I was, you know.
Yeah.
I think this is the longest I've never done stand-up since my dad died 20 years ago. And
I think that's all of us. Like
Certainly never done stand up, but yeah, I can only imagine just the
Yeah.
length of amount of days in a row that you've stayed at that place.
yeah, no, I'm ready to, you know, do something. But I understand why we're doing the way we're doing it. It's the smart way to do it. But it really does it really does show you that like, you know, without the stand-up, there is no kind of like end of day. You know, there's no like the days blur together. And like, you know, I remember all these times where like I used to do a set and like it went really badly and I would just like think about it all day. And now it's just like the opposite of like, there's no stand-up. So you're just thinking all day about when you can do stand-up. Like even a bad set would be a great set now, you know?
yeah, I can't imagine you bombing. I can't.
Yeah, I do. All right.
Oh,
Don't make me
it
out to
happens,
be
right?
Don't make me out to be more than I am. But you know, we'll all be back out there at some point. You know, it's
That'd be
just,
good
yeah.
times.
we're looking.
Definitely.
You know,
Do
I
you
like
cook or anything, Dave?
What's that?
Do you cook?
No, I don't. I do. That's another thing. Everybody seems to be becoming like a master chef, but I think there's. Sorry, that was not a dry cough. There's nothing sadder than cooking for one person. I think that is the saddest thing ever. You know,
That's all I do.
especially if you go like, and now put a little smidge of parsley on it to brighten the plate. For who?
You know,
You?
I have to take offense with one of your jokes where you talk about if you want to, it's related to cooking alone. When you say your joke where you say I don't know, it's like, what's the lamest thing? Barbecuing alone.
I think
And
that
I'm
is
like,
the saddest.
I used to do that. I used to do that all the time in Texas.
Well, you're a
People do
sad.
People do that all the time.
All right,
Dave.
then
stand by that joke.
I will not cook alone. Next time I make hot dogs, Dave, I'll send you an email.
You could
you're welcome
Zoom.
to join me.
Yeah, zoom them some hot dogs.
You and your bros can get together and go, we're having a hot dog party. Let's Zoom it up.
Bob won't hang out with me. Bob
Well,
lives a couple blocks away, won't hang out with me.
I hate to tell you, Dave, but Ray's had a lot of hot dog parties.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
This would be a good side thing.
Wink, wink.
The dick cereal thing. What is
There
cereal?
you go.
Yeah.
Eating dicks. Hot
I
dog
make hot
edition.
dogs and I make quesadillas. Those are the only
Those
two
are
things
great.
I made. Yeah.
Those are good foods for like a guy alone, I think.
Yes.
Oh, I make chili, but I've always done that. But I made enchiladas a couple days ago.
Awesome.
Uh,
I'm afraid to turn my stove on because then, like, how do I turn it off? You know, that's really the thing.
have
No,
you
I'm
ever
always
actually
thinking
used your
on the
stove at
road
that
and
place?
leaving something on. But I'll have a cup. I'll have a
Interesting.
soup maybe, or a sandwich, something like that. And you know, you're supposed to eat a lot of salad, so you try and eat some of that stuff. But I can't see any of us leaving this without being morbidly obese. I mean, it's just too hard. You know, it's too hard to work out. It's too
You hear
hard.
that, Bob? Too late. Bob, too late, man.
I'm actually probably eating less, to be
That's
honest
good.
with you.
Yeah. No, I'm outside of riding my bike. Like, yeah, I'm
Sleeping.
I'm getting fat. There's nothing you can do. It's just gonna happen.
Riding the bike is a great way to do it. You're out, you're on the street, you're on a bike, so you're moving past the virus. I like it.
I feel like a little kid again. I just put on my headphones. It's just like in your own world, just riding around for like a good hour and a half.
Well, we're all living the lives of like preteens now, basically riding our bikes, going to bed early, can't do
Preteen.
anything, whatever, just like sitting at home, dreaming.
You watching any? I know you're watching Netflix and stuff. Is there anything? Anything
Yeah,
that
well, I
you're
watched
watching?
like everybody else the Tiger King thing, so that's the real winner of this whole thing is that Tiger King.
Yeah, well, I mean, how
I've been
about all
watching
the?
comedy specials. I watched some of those. I never really watched a lot, so I started watching. I watched Mark Maron and I watched Whitney's. I watched Pete Davidson's. I watched a bunch, and I'm trying to watch a couple every other day or something like that. And I guess that's the cool of it is that you can really kind of catch up on all the comedy and get a chance to see. So
No, that's
Well, I mean, imagine being one of these comics that they were going to film a special,
right,
didn't get a chance to, and then you got these guys like Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura,
I
Chris
saw Bert
D'Elia,
and Tom's.
and they got ones that come out during this. They have to be getting a lot more views than they probably
Let's
would
hope,
have
yeah.
if we were doing normal. This was
Yeah.
normal times.
Yeah, I
So, I
think you're absolutely right, man. That this is a great chance for them to build the audience. But Bert and Tom, I saw both of their specials. Very good, really a lot of fun. Really good.
I wonder if Netflix will be like, when they go to these comedians, yeah, we want you to do another one, and they're like, but the money's not going to be because obviously the numbers were inflated because of the quarantine.
Who knows what the algorithm will say?
Exactly.
I also watch the press conferences and all those different things. I try and keep aware of the news. I know a lot of people don't like hearing about the news because it depresses them, but I feel like I like to know what's going on. So I watch the press conferences. I read the paper. I do all that kind of stuff. So I'm old. What can I tell you? I'm an old man.
Are you a Trump fan?
I don't. I didn't vote for him, and I will say one thing that. If there is any like political thing that going on that we can talk about is Andrew Cuomo, man. I think he really stepped up. He really, as the governor of the state, like
that's
when
what
he
I thought.
talks, when he talks, it's very straightforward. He's super. He's brutally honest, and I feel like he's telling us like what we need to know.
Yeah, he's showing emotion like a person should in his position.
Yep. And
unlike Trump, like he's got no empathy. It seems like he doesn't give a shit that people are dying. Whether he does or not is one thing. It just comes across. Whether Cuomo's bullshitting, let's say, at least I believe him. Maybe he is BSing, but I believe him when he acts like he cares about people. Where Trump, I don't believe it. And that's not, I'm not right or left. It's just
But those press conferences are great because he really gets into it with the reporters. It's kind of like it looks like a bad Thanksgiving, the way they go at it. It's hilarious. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to have to go soon, Bob.
Okay, well, no problem. We can wrap it up.
Meeting, whatchamacallit. Today's, what day is it?
It's up to you, man. Tuesday. But dude, thanks for hanging, man. Thanks for hanging.
Tuesday is the day I dust. So I usually like to dust it up. But guys, thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, no problem, Dave. Appreciate it.
And I wish you guys
glad you're doing well.
What is the name of the Zoomcast?
The G-Hole. The G-Hole. Greatest hour of listening ever.
Oh, nice.
The G-Hole.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for including me.
Hey, no problem,
buddy. The fans, stay safe.
Right,
I'll see you, Bob. Bye.
We'll see you, Dave.